Guys, in this video we're going to look at synthetic division. This is a trick, if you will, that will help us divide things when we have a leading coefficient of 1 in our divisor. Now, this is not always true. You can have a different coefficient, but for us in our Algebra 2 class we're going to just use a coefficient of 1. Let's look at our first problem. As you can see, our leading coefficient right here is 1. Okay, so if our divisor, what we're dividing by, our leading coefficient or the number in front of the x is 1, and we don't have a power greater than 1, so again both of these have to be 1 and 1, then we can use synthetic division. And what synthetic division is, it's almost a trick. So we're going to look at the 0. So if you need to, we can say x minus 3 equals 0. Solve for this, so it will be x equals 3, and then we're going to write down 3 up here, put it in a little box, okay, and then we write each coefficient in front of it. We have 1, 6, negative 21, and negative 18, okay, and note that each one of these are coming from the coefficient, okay. So we have to write each one down. If you do have a 0, you do have to write the 0 there. And then what we'll do is we'll draw a line. We bring the first one down. This becomes a 1. And then what we're going to do is multiply our 3 by our 1 and then add it up here. Okay. So 3 times 1 is 3. Then you add it. We get a 9. And then we take the same thing, our 3 times 9, and put it in there and add it up. 3 times 9 is 27. And so we get a 6, adding these together. So remember guys, we are adding these each time. And then we take 3 times 6, which will be 18, and then add it up. Again, remember we are adding these. So let me erase that other addition, and we get 0. Then from our answer, so these are our leading coefficient, we're going to drop this exponent by 1. It's going to become squared, and so we'll have 1x squared plus 9x plus 6. And again, our coefficient comes down from there. And that is how you synthetically divide. I'll show you one more example. Okay guys, so for the last example, what we're going to do is color code it just to kind of help bring it home. Again, we would find the 0 of x minus 5, so set this equal to 0, add 5 to both sides, and we would get x equals 5. So we would take the 0, put it in the top, and then we're going to take each coefficient, which I've color coded just to kind of help really bring out what we're doing. And so we get 1, negative 11, 22, and plus 40, or positive 40. And then what we're going to do is divide, or synthetically divide by 5. Okay. And so we saw it out. We're going to pull this down, which will become a 1. And what we'll do is 5 times 1, and then put that right there, which will be 5. And then we add these together. So we are adding negative 11 to 5, which will give me negative 6. And then again, multiply 5 by 6, and then put that right there, which is going to be 30, negative 30, which will give me negative 8 when I do 22 plus negative 30. Again, multiplying that 5 by that 40, which will give me negative 40, which gives me a remainder of 0. And then when we write it out, we look at our exponent, take 1 away, so we have 1x squared minus 6x minus 8. And that is how you do synthetic division. Now, I realize this can be a little tough. You will probably have questions, so feel free to ask me questions once class begins.